Hey, I'm Aaron Gemmel, and welcome to the seventh installment of the final season of the Hot Seat Sports Talk. We got a good one for you today. Joining us from Spain is Tiana Moore. She used to play for Central Michigan. Now she plays overseas in Spain. So she's the second person to do the show internationally. Of course, Jack Sheldon from Australia in season 6. But now Tiana Moore from CMU for this show today. So let's get started. So first off, welcome to the show. You are the second athlete to do the show internationally, which is so cool. And the first from Europe, because the first one was from Australia, from CMU. So now you're the first from Europe to do it. So to start off, where are you from, and did you play any other sports in high school?
I'm from Michigan, I'm from Michigan, about Southgate. I played volleyball, cross country, and track in high school, but chose basketball to take a little seriously.
Okay. And so what schools reached out to you for basketball, and did you take a tour of any of those schools, and what made you choose CMU?
That was a while ago, but I mean, it was pretty much most of the MAC schools, and a couple other bigger schools, but I actually took a visit at Toledo. Fun fact, I was like this close to actually going to Toledo, but they actually pulled my offer. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, I think you made the right choice. Being a Chippewa. So the team your freshman year went 13-18. So what did you learn that year as a freshman, and not only as a player, but a student juggling the student athlete life in college?
My freshman year, I think it was more about learning who I was as a human more than it was like basketball player or student. Um, Coach Guevara gave me a book after my freshman year called The Secret, and it like changed my whole perspective on, just life and people around me and myself. So I think it was more just finding myself in the midst of everything that was going on.
Yeah, that's interesting to hear because out of everyone that I've talked to this point, it's just been, how they've made the transition from high school to college and then from college to pro, which we'll get to your pro career in a minute. So the next season, your team flipped the script. You guys went 22-11, getting to the MAC finals. You beat Eastern in the first round, then you lost to Buffalo. Overall, a great season for the team and for you. I have a whole list of records and stuff that you achieved your sophomore year. Probably the one that's most impressive to me, because you went 16 for 16 from the floor against Akron in your sophomore year. That was probably the most impressive thing I've seen, and a whole bunch of other MAC records and program records as well. So how did that feel for, how did that, I should say, how did that feel? It was just, is there any of those accomplishments in your sophomore year that made you think, okay, I think I'm going to have a pretty good last 2 years here?
Honestly, no, I was just playing basketball. I'd never thought about leaving. I mean, of course, we all have our like, I'm going to quit basketball when preseason comes, but nothing other than that. But honestly, I was just playing basketball was what I was supposed to be doing. I just felt not too out of the ordinary, actually.
Okay. And so did you think the team itself, when it was, making the roster changes and getting new girls coming in from all over the place, and did you think that this team was going to be a MAC threat in the next 2 years when you were a sophomore?
Um, no, not when I was a sophomore. I don't think I started having much confidence really until like maybe senior year-ish.
Yeah, we'll get to that year, we'll get to that year.
Yeah.
So heading in, yeah,
But yeah, I thought we were just like any other team.
yeah. So now heading into the 16-17 year, you guys added Michaela Kelly, who just graduated. You had a Gabby Bird, Presley Hudson, who's now an assistant coach here at Central Michigan. Um, and so she was a sophomore, and the team went now to 23-9. You guys got even better now with you as the upperclassman as a junior. What were your thoughts like? Did you try and do your best, like, to try to mentor these young freshmen when they came in, like Michaela and Gabby and stuff like that? So take me through that whole process.
Yeah, honestly, they were a super good class. It wasn't much to mentor. They were pretty headstrong. They're pretty motivated in basketball, also in school. So it was super easy. They, if anything, motivated the upperclassmen a little bit more. But no, they were pretty easy. I didn't think that they're way more mature than I guess I was coming into freshman year
Wow.
of college. So they're mentoring me, if anything.
So now your senior year, in my opinion, besides this 2021 season, was probably the best season in program history. You guys went 30-5. And to begin that season, you beat San Diego State and Iowa State down in the Bahamas. So tell me, what did you guys do down there, and what was the atmosphere like for those games down in the Bahamas?
That was a really cool trip. I remember we actually won that championship. Yeah, but I think our team were just super good with each other off the court and on the court. The last 3 years, I can say there was probably no drama. It was so easy to play. We all got along, and we had good players everywhere. Like we had a good 4, 5, 1, 2, and 3. It wasn't just one player to do it all. So it was hard to beat us. So it was the work that we put in the summertime, and then just all of us being just great people in general. It just helped. It just made basketball so much easier.
And especially, with the roster that you guys had your senior year, and the coaching staff with Coach G and our current head coach right now as an assistant. That was a fantastic staff. So that was poised for greatness. And that's what you guys did, is you guys almost swept your MAC schedule. You guys absolutely dominated the MAC conference play, the conference tourney, beating Eastern, Miami, Ohio, and Buffalo to win the MAC tourney, which, for every basketball fan knows, like, for college, that's an automatic bid to the dance. And so tell me, what was going through your mind as time was winding down in the MAC championship and on selection Monday?
During the MAC championship, I remember my senior year, I think it was we were playing Illinois and we were down for like a minute. And then I just remember Raina Frost coming in clutch and like sealing the deal. But it was stressful. I never like tournaments. I don't like the feeling. I don't like, everything comes down to the last second. I don't like that feeling at all. Super overwhelming. So it was like it's very stressful, but going to the MAC tournament, we had nothing, or to the NCAA tournament, we had nothing to lose. We're a MAC school. People are out there thinking that, it's just we're
One
one
and
and done. So
exactly.
it was no pressure in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah. Now, come tourney time, you guys will go to Columbus for the first round against LSU, which our football team just played a couple weeks ago and lost. So were you nervous as tip-off was approaching for your first NCAA tourney appearance? And what was that game plan, if you can recall, for LSU in the first round?
I wasn't nervous. Just because everyone's expecting you to lose, although Obama thought that we would win, so we had a little confidence, and we were also shocked that he actually chose us to win the game. But I can't remember the game plan. I just remember them being a really tough team, like physical team, and they also had one really good player. She ended up being drafted, but we honestly stopped her, and
Yeah.
we it was just it.
And then you guys would beat LSU, and then probably the most impressive win of your guys' season, you took down the 3-seeded Ohio State in Columbus. So what was the post game like celebration like in that locker room after you guys punched your ticket to the Sweet 16 and took down Ohio State in their own city.
It was really amazing. I remember like we had so much fans come through, and it was like the gym was like not only packed with their fans but our fans too. And I
Yeah.
just remember during the game we were up like 20 at one point, and then that was when I was like, holy macaroni. I just felt like I just felt like our team was unstoppable at that point. And then after the game, we were up by 20 or 15, 20. So you know how you just win by that much. It's not like that. Once the game is over, it's over. You don't feel like too much excitement, but we got to the locker room and it was like, wait, we're going to the Sweet
Sweet
16.
16.
And then Coach G comes into the locker room and it was an amazing feeling.
Yeah. So then, unfortunately, your college career at CMU would end in the Sweet 16 with a loss to Oregon, who was, I think, the 2 seed or the 1 seed in your bracket. So looking back on your senior year, how proud were you to have left such a fantastic mark on CMU, because you were voted MAC Player of the Year and back-to-back MAC Defensive Player of the Year and a bunch of other awards as well. So looking back at it, do you think you left a really great mark on your college career?
Yeah, after that Oregon game, I was so full of emotions too because I was like, wow, it's all over. But honestly, I wouldn't trade my college experience for a different one because honestly, Central was so great to me. And like the time that I put into it, I felt gratitude from everyone around me. And that's very important for me. Like, it's hard as basketball players, especially professionally, to play for certain clubs or teams and you don't feel that appreciation for your work that you do. And at Central, I felt the most gratitude from the fans, the coaches, even the students that would come to the games. Like
Yeah.
I felt the best there, and I loved it.
Yeah. And even though I wasn't, we missed each other by a few months being students together on campus. But I know it's with, the roster that was left after you departed CMU, that roster continued to build and it led to more success. Obviously, with this past year in the MAC tournament, going to play Iowa in the first round and stuff. And so, you guys left the foundation, you guys built it, and that was it's been awesome just to see. And I know we're going to do the same thing this year and win the MAC. So, another question I have for you before I get to one of my favorite segments I do with all my guests is what were your reactions to Coach G's retirement?
I wasn't too shocked. I mean, maybe I had an idea that that was going to happen sometime sooner or later, but I was very proud of the impact she left on me and all the other athletes to go through her. But I was more so just like happy and settled with it. I'm happy she didn't retire when I was there. I would have been very upset.
Right. Yeah, and her replacement, it's just been, it's just just a chain and a flow. It's been so great that, it wasn't a rocky transition. As soon
Right.
as, Australia took over, she just the immediate winning as soon as Coach G left, the winning just continued, and it will continue for a while. And I'm excited to see that.
Yeah.
So now this is one of my favorite segments I do with all my guests. So rapid fire seven random questions just to get to know you. Just not even, could be basketball related, could not be. So let's get started. So what was your favorite place to eat, either on Central's campus or in Mount Pleasant?
Probably Max and Emily's.
Yes. All right. What was your favorite sandwich there?
Oh, I don't remember.
Okay.
It was just
Because they
random.
got
Yeah.
like 100 sandwiches on their menu and
Yeah.
stuff. So trying to think here. What is your favorite TV show of all time?
Oh, TV show? That's I have no idea. Something romantic though.
Okay. Um, fav- your favorite thing to do in Spain? Favorite thing, like favorite leisure activity to do?
Um, Tapas and drinks and walking around the city and then going for a swim at the beach.
Okay,
Favorite TV show is Curb Your Enthusiasm. Totally forgot about that.
nice. Okay. Your go-to song or playlist on game day.
It starts off with like very chill acoustic music, and then when I get on the court, I listen to some heavy,
Yes.
heavy music.
Okay, and to back that up, so this is number 5. Who's your favorite music artist of all time?
Um, that changes based on the season, but Frank Ocean's pretty stable.
Okay. All right, so number 6, thinking here. Number 6. Number 6. Favorite movie of all time.
A Cinderella Story with Hilary Duff.
That's interesting. Very interesting. And finally, for rapid fire 7, your favorite food either in the US or over in Spain. I kind of want to hear both.
US doesn't have any good food, and then in Spain, I would say I just tried their oxtails, which are much more different than oxtails in the States. So right now it's oxtails.
What are oxtails? Because I don't know what those are. And to everyone watching, they're probably like, what are oxtails?
Yeah, there's like this in the States, they look like this little circular fish thing. Or no, scallops. I'm sorry, scallops.
Oh, okay.
But in Spain, they actually are in the shell and they're much smaller. They look nothing like the scallops in the States. It's insane. It's like
Hmm.
two totally different things.
Okay. So now getting to your pro career, um, so were you being looked at by the WNBA? And did you end up getting a tryout for the WNBA after CMU? So before you signed with Valencia. So take me through that.
Yeah, after college, I got a training camp with the Mystics, Washington Mystics. So I stayed there for a couple weeks, then got cut, and then a few months later, I flew out to Spain.
So how did Spain get a hold? So how did a team like a city like Valencia get a hold of you?
My agent, I actually she's Spanish, and so
Okay.
just to connect, it's all about networking.
Nice. And so you signed with Valencia, Spain. That's in the EuroCup league. Was it a culture shock for you when you went to Spain? So take me through your rookie year, like when you first got off the plane in Spain. Like, was it just like, whoa, this is a totally different world?
Yeah, I was like, it was a totally different world. Exactly what it was. I was driving on my way to my apartment and I saw all the clothes hanging outside. I'm like, why do they have their clothes outside? Why is it they're
Hmm,
drying their clothes because dryers are not popular in Europe? And then I go to the
interesting.
store and I'm grocery shopping and I was like, why is everyone speaking Spanish? And it's like, Tinara, you're in Spain. And I was like, this is so annoying. So immediately I wanted to go home after the grocery shopping experience because I love to grocery shop and I couldn't understand anything. And then here, my friend has a video of me just sitting in the grocery store on the floor, just Google translating literally everything. And I was in the store for hours, but
Was
uh,
everything in the grocery store, like food wise, is everything in Spanish? Nothing was in English at all. Everything was labeled in
everything's in
Spanish.
Spanish. Yeah,
Oh
there's
my
a
gosh.
word.
Oh, I
So
couldn't.
it was difficult, yeah. But then after, so that was like those are the fun stories of Europe that you don't really realize until you get over here or live over here. But basketball was completely different. I played for a really great club. The basketball, European basketball is much more different than basketball in the States. It's
Yeah.
structured way differently. You have to adjust to that. You also have to adjust that you're being now paid to play basketball. So it's not like college where if you have a bad game or bad week, like it's fine. They're not gonna like cut you. So it's a little bit different. The stress levels of basketball kind of change. Um, Also just we practice for twice today. This is the only thing that you're doing, so you have to focus on your body 24/7. It's very different basketball professionally than it is at the collegiate level.
Yeah, and I could probably imagine it's way different overseas compared to what they're doing in the WNBA. I imagine it's completely different. You have the experience of both. I can imagine it's even different on the pro level, just on different continents. So you said about adjusting to the game of basketball. Was it hard adjusting to your new teammates? And, did you have to learn Spanish in order to talk to them all? Or then did they speak part English, part Spanish? Or did you have to completely learn Spanish going into this?
No, luckily because we're a bit older, that the Spanish people know pretty good, decent English, at least at the professional level. So it wasn't too bad to adjust to your teammates. I had two other Americans, and we had some foreigners that were like also way easy just to hang out with. And my teammates were
Oh,
super easy. Like we're all grown, so it's like way easier to adjust to people. And they also speak English, so it wasn't too hard of an adjustment. And each year people speak English, and you find your little group of friends. But now this year I am learning Spanish because I'm like, Tinara, you've been here for way too long. It's time to get it together.
so now take me, or so you're still in Spain, if I'm correct, right? You're still over there. What club team are you with at this moment right now?
Currently I play for Gernika. It's in the,
Gernika,
yeah, Gernika, yeah.
and that's in, is that in what city in Spain is that?
The city is also called Gernika. It's next to a
Gernika.
bigger city called Bilbao in the north, next to kind of
Okay.
France in the Pyrenees.
So you've been in Spain your entire pro career, playing for a couple clubs, and it, is it your goal? Is it your goal to make it back to the States for the WNBA, or is your heart and mind content on you want to stay overseas and play in Spain?
Well, I actually have I played 2 years in Spain, 1 year in Hungary. Now I'm back in Spain. So but we don't need to talk about that year in Hungary. It was awful. But now I love Europe. I'd love to live here. I mean, when I'm done with basketball, I want to live actually in Europe. But the WNBA is an experience. If they called me and wanted me to play for them, sure. Um, but I'm pretty fine with my career in Europe. I have the summer off to travel, hang out with my friends and family.
Nice.
So for me, it's fine, but it would be awesome, of course, to have a season in the WNBA, but also love life.
Yeah. Yeah, just be best to go for it. It just, it seems like they appreciate basketball way more. Like it's like they treat how they treat soccer or football over there. Like us in the States, we appreciate our football and hockey and stuff like that. They appreciate basketball way more. So take me through a game day at home. Like what's your routine when you walk in, and what are the crowds like there? What's the atmosphere like at home?
Oh, it's crazy. We have a shoot around usually around like 11 o'clock if we have like a 6, 7 o'clock game. And then come home. I really just rest, have like a normal lunch, and then go to the game. It's pretty, I'm like, I don't try to focus on basketball games too much because I have to be like, if I focus on them too much, and then my head becomes crazy and I have all these weird thoughts. So I kind of just like to relax, calm, not think about it. But
Have
when
the
tip
game
off,
come to you?
yeah, exactly. And then tip off happens and the fans are there, and it's wild, it's loud from tip off to the last seconds of the game, and it's amazing. The atmosphere is great. Like Spanish basketball is like, wow, every game has a lot of fans. It's fun, it's exciting. All the teams are great, and anyone could beat anyone in
Yeah.
this league. So it's really fun.
Yeah, and it's definitely different compared to the pros, either in the NBA or the WNBA over here, because you have the teams like, yeah, they're you compare, the Lakers are definitely gonna just squash the Magic or something like that, or maybe like the Sparks are gonna crush the Fever or something like that. It's just there's unbalance in those leagues, and overseas we see it in the Olympics as Americans, and we think, Spain, no one's going to beat us, our men's or women's teams. But, those, the teams from France, from Spain, Argentina, all those teams are threats, especially Spain in the last couple of years. I know Barcelona has huge teams all the time, and just the whole country of Spain is huge on on basketball. I would say almost as equally as soccer. Would you agree with that?
Men's soccer, I've been to a game. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
It's a whole different level. But I would say, in my experience, it looks about like soccer, European soccer, and then basketball. The men's basketball teams, especially the really good ones like Barcelona, Valencia, the crowds are wow, amazing.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So what are the so like, we're transitioning in the fall over here. Is it the same over there? Like what are the seasons over there along with the culture and just your everyday life when you're not, not in season?
Yeah, now it's getting a bit colder than normal, but still pretty warm. Where I'm at, and it's called the Basque Country is in the north. It rains a lot because of the mountains or whatever. I don't really know why it rains a lot actually, but it's so green and beautiful. But like in the south of Spain, like Malaga, around Valencia-ish area, it's really warm, sunny most of the year. But now, the culture is everyone is just hanging out, going for a beer, going for a coffee in the middle of the day, eating outside. I love the Europeans eat outside all the time. There's always tables just outside of
Yeah.
restaurants, which I love. People just hang out with their friends and family. It's really about connecting with the people here. And they really take their time with things like cooking, like Italians with cooking is a whole different experience. Just it's really just a time to just be calm in Europe. I feel like everyone's just taking their time with everything and it's beautiful.
Like nothing seems like it's rushed or everyone's panicking or overly stressed and anxiety levels aren't all the way up, compared to it's just different culture. It's just totally different cultures, the different ways that those, the Spaniards go about their daily lives compared to us Americans,
Mhm.
which, both aspects of now, which is definitely a really, really cool thing to think about. And so looking at right now, if I'm not mistaken, your team is in the EuroCup, right?
Correct.
In the EuroCup. So what's the ultimate dream or accomplishment you want to achieve playing in Spain, assuming like winning, a lot of EuroCups, right?
Yeah, for me, it's just about enjoying my life. As long as I'm enjoying my life outside of basketball, because that really matters. Because I spent a year in Hungary and my life it was horrible. So now it's not about, winning championships because it's very hard to do that unless you're on like the top team and they only take WNBA players. So it's like really rare for that to happen. But for me, I just want to win as much games as I can while being the most happy in a team as I can.
Okay, yeah. So real quick before we wrap up here, because I know you got to head off to practice. So what so for people like me and everyone back home, what are some good links to follow for social media to keep up with your team?
Yeah, so you could follow the Instagram page of my team, which is I'm pretty sure if you just type in Gernika, Gernika, something will pop up. We also the our games are on the Spanish TV, so I'm not sure if you can watch them in the States, but once EuroCup starts happening, you could just follow EuroCup on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, or whatever, and they'll start posting their games on YouTube when that league starts. And that league starts in about like 2 weeks for me.
Oh, so the EuroCup starts about 2 weeks
In
ish.
about 2 weeks, yeah, I think. I don't know the schedule.
All right, that's definitely something I'm gonna be looking out for, because now you have piqued my interest because I want to see how different it is, just between Spain and the U.S. So follow those accounts. And Tiara, thank you so much for joining us, joining the show. In Spain, a second international guest to ever appear. So I hope you had a good time.
Yes, thank you. This was so much fun. Fire up chips.
Fire up chips and have a great rest of your season. I wish you all the best heading forward, and just hopefully get you back when you're a Euro Cup champ.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Thanks, you too.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Okay, I'm off to practice.
I will send you the link when it's posted. It should be up next week.
Cool beans. Thanks so much.
Adios.
Bye.
Man, what a what a fantastic interview. Mucho gusto. That was a great interview. Just hearing from going from Central Michigan to playing overseas, a little bit in the WNBA, then going overseas to playing in Spain. Just hearing about the culture and stuff like that. It fascinates me. I hope it fascinates you. And that will do it for the 7th installment of the Hot Seat Sports Talk. Make sure you follow us Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Subscribe to the channel, share it, like it, comment, subscribe. And so 7 episodes through, that was our 43rd guest, so about 7 more guests to go, and then a wrap-up show to wrap up the entire series. So with that, I am your host, Aaron Gemmel. Hope you enjoyed this episode of the Hot Seat Sports Talk. Until we meet again, as always, keep it fresh.